Good day, life science students. Welcome to video lecture episode 10. Today we're going to keep working back through chapter 25. Remember, that's the non-living environment. I'm not sure if I got the video posted yet. If I haven't, I will try to get that posted today, the one that was for the last slide on the previous lecture. Alright, so let's move to slide 36. Little sunlight reaches the shady forest floor, so plant growth beneath the trees is limited. Now, using your inference skills, that means based on knowledge you know and what you have stated before you, how do fish that live at the bottom of the ocean obtain energy? Just think about that for a moment. Okay? If you look on slide 36, you can see a visualization of how sunlight would be traveling and the various layers within a forest. Now let's move to slide 37. The bottom of the ocean is a mysterious and harsh environment. Animals down there have to deal with darkness, extreme cold, and incredible pressure. As the pressure down at the bottom of the ocean is so high, water is still a liquid at these temperatures. On Earth, it would have boiled into a gas. To make conditions even more extreme, the water is also acidic. No humans could survive down there. Okay, life on the surface depends on sunlight. So how do they get what they need? Well, remember chemosynthesis? Do you remember we mentioned that? Hydrothermal vents are cracks in the sea floor where erupting magma mixes with ocean water to produce plumes of hot, sulfur-rich chemicals. Organisms can use these chemicals to produce energy. Also, organic debris that floats down from the upper ocean eventually does reach it at the bottom. Now, if you look at slide 38, it's going to have a really nice visual image on the left-hand side of it. But I'm just going to go ahead and mention something really quickly in the connection with that. And that's the Marianas Trench. It's in the Pacific Ocean, and it's more than 37,000 feet below sea level. It is deep, okay? If you look at slide 39, we can see an image of an unmanned submarine going down there and just a map of the area over, like, a satellite view, so to speak. Slide 40 shows a unique crab creature that has been found and located, lives down there. And there's a question there I have for you. Why do you think this deep ocean crab needs all these hairs? Think about it. Slide 41 goes to talk about a study of a unique creature. A new study of the elusive Cuvier's beaked whales shows that they can dive to nearly 10,000 feet. That's 3,000 meters. That's pretty cool, the things that we find in the deeper parts of the ocean. Now let's look at slide 42. Why is it so dangerous to go deep, like in the water? Why is it dangerous? Okay. Well, the deepest submarine dive, which was using a submarine, James Cameron, a filmmaker, is the first human to reach the 6.8 mile deep sea bottom mark. Descent took 2 hours and 36 minutes. Think about that. How long it just took just to go down. They still have to go back up. Now the ascent was faster than expected. It was around 70 minutes, so we're talking just an hour and 10 minutes. Among the 2.5-story tall sub's tools are a sediment sampler, a robotic claw, a slurp gun for sucking up small sea creatures for study at the surface, and temperature, salinity, and pressure gauges. Just to go down there to film what it's like there. And that's not even living down there. That's just going down and coming back up. Now let's move to slide 43. Let's start talking now about temperature. Sunlight supplies life on Earth with light energy for photosynthesis, but also with heat energy for warmth. Water freezes at 0 degrees Celsius and boils at 100 degrees Celsius. Most life lives between the 0 to 50 degrees Celsius range. Arctic penguins survive in the freezing Antarctic, which is pretty amazing to think how they're adapted for that. Camels can survive in the Arabian desert because their body fat is stored only in their hump, thus less heat insulation. Pretty wise designing there. Now let's continue our discussion a little bit more about temperature. Temperature of a region is dependent on how much sunlight it receives. The amount of sunlight depends on the land's latitude and elevation. Cities near the equator have warmer temperatures. Conversely, further away from the equator, the polar regions have colder temperatures. Now, if you look on slide 44, you notice there's an image of the Earth, and you can see the lines, and you can see, remember, the Earth is at a slight tilt, and as a result, how that light distributes is according to that angle, and that's why, of course, the equator gets the most, and then the poles get the least. Now, moving to slide 45, we just have an image of a man snorkeling there, and just once again reminding us about the equator and the heat and some of the imagery that goes along with that. All right, so let's keep moving on along. We're going to move on in. All right, keep moving to, let's see where we're at here. Okay. Polar regions. Now we're into the polar regions, and we're just going to close our discussion with these last couple slides here in the polar regions. And there's just some nice little images of animals you'd find in the polar regions, as well as the imagery that comes to mind for being in the polar region. And then, here's an interesting question on slide 47. What is a narwhal? Often called the unicorn of the seas, the narwhal or narwhale is a medium-sized toothed whale that possesses a large tusk from a protruding canine tooth of a male. It lives year-round in the Arctic waters around Greenland, Canada, and Russia. Pretty interesting to think about. So maybe the next time you watch that movie Elf, or you have some imagery in your mind of water animals, this maybe a new one you can think about. It's pretty interesting, I think. And that's a tusk. You know, like we think with tusks like from elephants, this is just one that goes straight out. And look where they live, Arctic waters. Wow. Now let's look at slide 48. This is just an interesting view of an Arctic region. Obviously, this is kind of like an aerial view. And this is where we're going to close our discussion. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I do hope this has been helpful. Have a nice day. Goodbye.